Hello everyone! So today I am going to be talking about, I think, one of the most frequently asked questions about foundation is, what do I apply it with? I feel like there's so many different things out there on the market now to apply your foundation, and it's like, how is it that you can just pick one thing? And how is a consumer to know what is the best tool for them? So this is my video explaining kind of the different tools that are out there to apply your foundation. So yeah, let's get started. So I think when we're younger, we take influence from our parents and how they apply our foundation. And if it's like anything, my mom told me to apply your foundation with your phalanges. I remember her telling me, when I was starting to wear foundation, and she would put hers on with her fingers. So I was like, oh, I should put mine on with my fingers too. But then I realized, I started breaking out. My makeup wasn't really staying as nicely all day long as I would probably like it to be, and I would find that it would get cakey in some spots. Don't get me wrong, it still looked fine, I think, but the weird thing with applying foundation with your phalanges is, did you wash your hands before you applied your foundation with your fingers? Did you just go to the washroom? What did you just touch with your fingers? And now you're putting it all over your face. A really big thing, I think, for bacteria and also spreading germs, why would you want to apply your foundation with your fingers when your fingers touch everything you come in contact with, and you don't know maybe what you just touched a doorknob and who just touched that doorknob last, and now you're putting your foundation on with your fingers. So I'm not the biggest fan with applying it with your fingers. Also, the oils from your hands get on your face and can cause you to break out, and the bacteria from your hands can also cause you to break out. So I definitely don't recommend using your fingers. And then as we grow older, we learn about the next tool, which is kind of the sponge. Sometimes in foundations you get a little sponge with it to apply it with. Sometimes you have to buy them in the little bags to apply them. That's what I upgraded to, is using sponge. And I was wondering, why am I going through my product so fast? I feel like I would just buy it and 2 months later my foundation would be gone. That's because sponges absorb all of your product. Think about it. When the product is wet, and it's almost like when you're washing dishes, right? And it sucks up all the water, and then it holds it in there, and it doesn't come out. So when you're putting it on your face, you're only getting that little bit of foundation that's left on the surface of the sponge. So I definitely also don't recommend using a sponge. You're gonna waste. If you're using one of the prestige foundations and you're paying $40, $50, $60 even for your foundation, why would you want to use a sponge with it? You're just gonna be wasting your money. And even just getting longevity out of the product. By not using a sponge, you're going to get an extra month to 2 months out of your product, depending on how much that you use. The only time I find that sponges do come in handy is, if you're backstage and you need something that's really, really quick, and you don't have time to clean your brushes, and you just need to put the foundation on and then throw it out. That would probably be the only time that I would recommend using a sponge. And then we get into brushes. I am a huge fan of brushes for foundation. I think that they give you the nicest look to your foundation. But now on the market, which brush do I pick? There's so many different foundation brushes, and this is only a couple that I'm going to be talking about today. I think each brush is kind of designed for specifically different things. When I first started wearing makeup, I obviously was drawn towards MAC. I went right to MAC, and they told me about this brush here to apply my foundation with. I was using, the Studio Fix, so it was a liquid foundation. It was really fluid, so this product worked great with the fluid products because it acts almost like an airbrusher, and you would do these circular motions, and your skin would look awesome. Now, and that's why you would use a certain brush like this one here, is if you really want to get that airbrush look, all the little tiny fibers, they pick up the foundation and they make it so nice when you put it on the skin. But if you're doing a fuller coverage product or something that's thicker or not as fluid, I find that this brush fails. So this brush is really good for really lightweight, light products. So maybe a tinted moisturizer, you can use this with any lightweight fluids. I actually have a little bit left of the Hello Flawless on my hand, and it's going on really, really nicely, giving it a really nice sheer look on the skin. So that's where I would recommend this brush here from MAC. It comes in a few different sizes now, which is awesome. This is the kind of in-between size, so I think it's nice. It's good for really working it all over the face. I like it when I need something kind of quick and easy pinky and when I'm doing a more lighter kind of look. Next I am going to go with, it's the Cover FX foundation brush. It's the 170. It's the Precision. It's the pointed brush. Now I love this one because it's kind of like two brushes in one when you use this brush here. You get the precision with the point that's on the product. So it's awesome for when you have to get around your eyes, in your nose areas, like anywhere that you need more precision of putting your foundation, because you get that point on the brush. So it's almost like a concealer brush on the tip, because you can really work it around the eye area with this. When you do use it, it goes like, you know, in your use, you can go in circular motions with the tip. But what I like to do is it works just like a regular foundation brush, is you flatten it out. You make it flat, and it works just like how your regular foundation brush would work. And, you know, applying it in long strokes all over the face. But the awesome thing is that it also has the tip, so we're getting it around certain eye areas, and it's really soft and gentle. Now, and then last but not least, I think your classic foundation brush. I think this one is definitely the most foolproof of all of the brushes. You know, I think the other ones people get intimidated by because of the shape, but they're also easy to use once you learn the proper way to use them. But this is just the Lancome, their #2 foundation brush. You know, I think that the shape of the brush is definitely, I think, the most user-friendly kind of brush. You pick up the product, you load both sides, just like a paintbrush, how we painted our whole lives, you know, and long strokes. The cool thing with this too, I mean, again, like, I think the more and more you become more comfortable with your brushes, like you can totally use them all around the eye areas, where the Precision brush, you know, it has a smaller point, so it's maybe a little bit more comfortable around the eye, where this is a little bit bigger around the eye. But I think as we become more comfortable with our brushes, we're not as scared of them anymore. So I hope you guys learned a little something about foundation brushes today. Now, another thing I will recommend, make sure that you clean your brushes, because you don't want the bacteria buildup to stay in your brushes. Even though they are synthetic fiber most of the time in your foundation brush, make sure that you clean them. That will remove any of the bacteria and also the buildup of foundation, and your foundation will continually going on nice and smooth. I would definitely recommend like a baby shampoo, works really great, and you can condition them a little bit afterwards. Or, I mean, most of the companies now, they sell brush cleanser as well, but I find every once in a while, give them a really good clean shampoo and it really will get all of the product out of it. Alright guys, thank you for joining me today, and I hope you learned lots about foundation brushes so that now you can go out and pick out the right brush for you. Have a great day. Bye guys. Mwah.